Everyone knows he conquered Europe. But look at the mud-caked boots that actually did the marching. Forget the weight of the crown. Look closer at his face the exact second he snatched it. This isn't a generic biography. This is the microhistory, the hidden details that your textbooks miss.
Stop searching for history's most wronged person. You won't find him. That's the point. Because history books don't have a chapter called "Who Got Done Dirty the Hardest?" The real scam. We keep asking like history is customer support. Every culture builds a wronged hero. China talks about Yue Fei. The West talks about Socrates. Then we remix their stories to match whatever we're mad about today. Truth, injustice, is the most reusable marketing tool ever. So the most Chinese letter person is probably some nobody who never made the record. History isn't about fairness. It's whoever wrote the last post in ink. You've been lied to. Napoleon Bonaparte was not short. In fact, he was actually taller than the average Frenchman of his time. So why does everyone think he was a midget? It's literally a math error. See, a French inch was longer than a British inch. When the British translated his height, they didn't convert the units. Oops. British propaganda took that mistake and ran with it, calling him Little Boney. Napoleon wasn't small. He was just the first victim of fake news. The Emperor of France barely knew how to speak French. See, Napoleon was born in Corsica, literally 1 year after France stole it. He grew up speaking Italian, sounding more like a pizza chef than a French icon. At military school, the rich French kids roasted him daily for his hick accent. They called him a peasant outsider. Big mistake. That bullying didn't break him. It became his villain origin story. He conquered their entire country just to make them shut up and listen. The ultimate revenge, forcing your bullies to call you your majesty. Everyone thinks Napoleon blew the nose off the Sphinx with a cannon. But that is a total lie. The nose was gone way before he was even born. The real culprit, a guy named Sam Aldar back in 1378. He saw locals worshipping the Sphinx and decided to cancel it. He used chisels, not cannons, to pry the nose off in a religious rage. Locals were so mad, they actually lynched him for vandalism. So Napoleon is innocent. He has enough problems, like his height. This was the biggest disrespect in the history of the Catholic Church. In 1804, Napoleon invited the Pope all the way to Paris to crown him emperor. But at the last second, Napoleon pulled the ultimate power move. Instead of kneeling, he took the crown and placed it on his own head. He literally made the Pope watch him crown himself. The message was clear. I didn't earn this from God, I earned it from me. He didn't just become emperor, he became the original self-made man. Napoleon had a very dirty little secret. He once wrote a letter to his wife Josephine with a disgusting request. He told her, "I will return in 3 days, don't wash." Yeah, the Emperor of France was obsessed with natural body odor. While she loved perfumes, he preferred her smelling like, well, a human. Historians say this was a common kink back then, but still, gross. Napoleon might be a genius, but he was also a massive weirdo. Napoleon's most embarrassing defeat wasn't Waterloo. It was against bunnies. In 1807, to celebrate a peace treaty, his chief of staff organized a massive rabbit hunt. But he made a fatal mistake. He bought tame farm rabbits, not wild ones. So instead of running away, 3,000 rabbits charged at Napoleon thinking he was the lunch lady. They swarmed his legs, climbed his jacket, and literally besieged the emperor. The conqueror of Europe fled to his carriage, locking himself inside for safety. Turns out you don't need cannons to beat Napoleon. You just need fluffy bunnies. Why is Napoleon always hiding his hand? Was he scratching an itch? Everyone thinks he had chronic stomach pain, but that's a total myth. Actually, in the 1800s, this was just the cool guy pose. Trousers didn't have pockets back then, so men didn't know what to do with their hands. Plus, painting realistic hands is notoriously difficult and expensive. Hiding the hands saved the artist time and saved Napoleon money. So he wasn't sick, he was just awkward and cheap. Napoleon didn't lose Waterloo because of bad strategy. He lost because of his butt. On the morning of the battle, the emperor was suffering from massive, painful hemorrhoids. The pain was so bad he couldn't ride his horse to scout the battlefield. Instead, he sat in his tent, high on opium painkillers, completely zoning out. Without seeing the enemy, he gave terrible orders that doomed his army. So technically, the French Empire collapsed because of a literal pain in the ass. Napoleon's soldiers survived, whether by turning horses into sleeping bags. During the disastrous retreat from Russia, the cold was killing more men than the enemy. With no wood for fire, they had to get creative and disgusting. Soldiers would cut open dead horses, scoop out the insides, and climb in. The residual body heat acted like a fleshy, gross radiator for the night. Imagine waking up the next morning, frozen inside a horse ribcage. Basically, Napoleon's army invented the Luke Skywalker move 150 years early. Did the British government murder Napoleon, or was it his wallpaper? When Napoleon was exiled to Saint Helena, he lived in a house filled with this specific green color. It was called Shields Green, and back then it was made with straight-up arsenic. The island's humidity caused the wallpaper to release invisible, toxic arsenic gas. Scientists later found insane levels of arsenic in his hair samples. So he wasn't killed by a sword or a gun, but by bad interior design. Napoleon's tomb is basically a giant, expensive Russian doll. Most people get one coffin. Napoleon got 6. First tin, then mahogany, 2 layers of lead, ebony, and finally oak. All of that was sealed inside a 35-ton block of red quartzite. Why? Because France was terrified someone would steal his body. Or maybe they were just making sure he didn't come back. Either way, that is the ultimate do not disturb sign. Part of Napoleon is currently in a jar in New Jersey, and it's not his brain. During his autopsy in 1821, the doctor decided to steal a very private souvenir. He cut off Napoleon's little corporal. It passed through collectors for years, described as looking like a piece of beef jerky. In 1977, an American urologist bought it for $3,000. He kept it under his bed in a suitcase for decades. Talk about a Napoleon complex.